What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down a very big business move that NIO made that could actually help with the share price in the future. Now, before I break anything down about what this catalyst is, why NIO is doing something that's intelligent, in my opinion, that could actually help with the business and their earnings and their deliveries and etc., I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each valued at up to $3,000. And the offer ends in just 3 days. So make sure you check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So when it comes to NIO, I want to note that on the 1st of February, NIO had deliveries numbers come out, and NIO did not do well for the month of January. They only delivered 8,500 vehicles in January 2023, and this is actually a decrease compared to 2021. Now, it's also worth noting that, yes, there was the Lunar New Year, and sales were actually down for the entire Chinese EV sector. Right? We saw Li Auto down, I think, like over 50%. Xpeng's sales for the month were down like 60%. And by sales, I mean deliveries. Tesla's were also a little bit down overall, but Tesla did see a nice increase in their Chinese sales plus exports, and they did very well in that sector. Tesla and China did very well there. And we're also seeing that Tesla did something to help their sales and their demand remain at relatively high levels. I'm going to show you what that was and why this is going to actually help NIO. So NIO is just announced that they're going to be reducing prices with a maximum drop of nearly $14,000. NIO is lowering their prices. The data just came out recently. The numbers just came out. I just want to show you guys a real case study of how this actually affected Tesla. There's no guarantee that this guarantees anything for NIO. There's no guarantee that this will actually help NIO, but there's a good chance it may help them at the same time. And that's because of the fact that in China, Tesla actually cut its prices. It also cut its prices in the US and also in Europe. I think the Model Y was cut by about 13,000 after a 2,000 increase. So it's about a total of a $11,000 decrease, right? And the cuts that ended up coming out helped Tesla big time. You can see that they actually amounted a lot more of the exports. We saw a lot more demand for Teslas, and they ended up killing it in China overall. Look at their exports for 2023. It's actually up. The sales plus exports, they actually ended up doing quite well there. Now, sales in China alone were a little bit down, but with exports, they just did super well. And I'm very excited for what else is yet to come. They also managed to beat, despite the fact that we had Lunar New Year for about half of January, at least in China. So very impressive stuff from Tesla. And if you actually look at the data, right here we have the new Model Y inventory levels. Look at the inventory levels for the Teslas. You can see right here there was a decrease, and then as we approach the month of January 2023, the prices just started, not the prices, I'm sorry, the inventory levels started going up, meaning that demand for Tesla started slowing down, and they were actually housing a lot more of these Teslas. They weren't selling as much. So what did Tesla do? They announced a price cut, a big price cut. And they said, we're going to be reducing prices. And some of their models actually started to qualify for an EV tax credit in the United States. What happened to their inventory levels? They drop, and then they came crashing down. This means that there was a smaller backlog of Teslas being held in storage, and more of them are getting sold because demand went up like crazy because people loved the price cuts. Teslas are looked at as very luxurious cars. People love the technologies. People love the cars. And it just got a whole lot better in America. And I assume the same thing happened in like China, also in many parts of Europe. Their sales are actually up like over 900% in just Germany alone. But the bottom line is, it helped them. Cutting prices helped them big time, get more sales. That's what Tesla wants. They want high numbers. Maybe it affects their margins, but they want to do what's best for the company. That is continuing to get lots of growth, lots of sales, and they might be able to offset it by getting more and more sales, right? It really is just a trade off, but for them to actually sell more cars, the price cuts were necessary. So when you see news about NIO reducing prices with a max drop of about $15,000, we're seeing this starting with the ES6, the ES8, and the ES7. The plan was actually introduced in the morning of February 1st, and this became bigger news about a week ago. Now, I'm saying this because when you start to see the fact that they're actually revising their loan plans, their loan programs, they're cutting prices in total, this is likely going to help demand increase in a way that's a lot more optimal, and it actually helps them reach a better equilibrium, at least in economic terms. And I believe that they're doing what they can. They're getting much closer to an equilibrium in terms of the big connection between supply and demand. And I think a lot more investors are going to be interested in NIO because this could help them get better delivery numbers. This could help them get better sales. This could help them generate more money overall. Maybe they're going to be making less per car, but if they're selling way more and way more to offset the change in the spending behaviors of Chinese individuals as they're saving a lot more money, if NIO is cutting prices and gets more sales and more deliveries, it could actually offset the risk. It could offset the opportunity cost, right? So I believe it's a good move that they're making. I think that just like Tesla, this could actually help them boost their sales. And I think that they could offset some of the hardships that this could actually cause to their margins. I still believe this is a good move that they made. I also believe that the more they do this, it could also help them with the market competition over there. And we are going to likely see them continue to do what's best. Could this lead to a price war? It is possible, but prices aren't all there are to NIO. They have a nice brand, they have good fundamentals. I'm sure a lot of investors would be very interested. What does this all mean for NIO? Well, I want to show you guys something. Let me just pull this up real quick. When NIO was moving, all right, in the past especially, NIO had a tendency of following the overall market. Let me show you the example of it once this loads. And then what happened was during the month of June, basically, NIO had a big increase in deliveries. Let me just show you the charts. Where is it? I think it's right here. So NIO was underperforming during, hold on, this time frame. NIO was coming down because of the lockdowns and etc. And then what happened was NIO has a tendency of following the overall market throughout this, right? But look at this one moment right here between, this is around, I think, June going into like July. There was an instance where SPY was coming down. See how SPY was crashing? The market was holding back, and NIO completely outperformed the market from around very close to the start of June as we approached June with strong deliveries, very strong deliveries in June, going all the way to about, I think this is close to the end of June. So for the month of June, NIO's share price completely outperformed the market, the SPY. Compared to the QQQ, NIO managed to outperform as well. Check this out. The QQQ started to rally, NIO was starting to rally a little bit. This was back in, as we approached June. Then the QQQ started tumbling. The Nasdaq started crashing around the first week of June, coming all the way down into the second to third week of June. What was NIO doing? It came down a little and it continued to just explode while this thing was at such a low place. Why was there this one instance where NIO outperformed the market? And does NIO tend to do that? The answer is NIO tends to underperform compared to the market. But there were some instances where NIO had very strong deliveries. Remember how there were lockdowns in China, their deliveries slowed down for the months of April and May. And then June comes and they killed it. They did very well in deliveries, and investors started pouring money in to the company. And NIO, its share price went very, very high. My point is, if NIO gets very good deliveries thanks to the price cuts, if they start making a lot more money, there's a chance the share price could start to outperform the relative market. Let me just turn off all these like drawings and let me just show you the exact moment on that real chart. There was the instance back around June time. Look at where NIO was. There was a time when NIO was on this downtrend, right? I'm sure you guys remember that. NIO tanked to $11. And then NIO got a small bounce with the market. It came down to about 14. And instead of the NIO crashing with the market, because the market was crashing in June, you guys remember that? The market came down around mid-June. NIO continued to go up, came down a little, and it went all the way up to $24 a share. It doubled in value because of the super strong deliveries report that came out. It shocked everyone, and that was impressive by NIO. It really shows how important deliveries could be during many instances. So the bottom line is, yes, NIO does tend to be affected by the overall market, but if they have some news that comes out that's super bullish, like strong deliveries, very strong deliveries, that could actually help the share price. So if NIO gets a ton of deliveries, if they outperform all expectations and blow everyone away, it could help with the share price. It could be a very bullish catalyst. And these price cuts could help it with that. This could be a very bullish catalyst. It likely is one because for Tesla, it helps them big time. And it will likely help them, especially with these huge price cuts, almost $15,000 for some of them. Very, very good. I really hope it helps with the deliveries. And I really hope it helps bring in more investors for the company. NIO is taking action to improve. I can't guarantee the next few deliveries reports or months will be great for NIO. I can't promise that, but I can tell you one thing, and that is I'm still very bullish. I'm still very optimistic for the long-term future of this company. I also believe it will break all-time highs one day. I have not lost faith. It has massive squeeze potential, and I'm still a part of the community. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much. I want the best for everyone. Remain calm, cool, and collected, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is still incredibly bright, and peace out.